Hi guys, welcome to Medical Megaman channel. In this video I am going to discuss the cell injury. Under this I will discuss the overview of cell injury, causes of cell injury, reversible and irreversible cell injury, and finally the mechanism by which cell injury occurs. Now, overview of cell injury. Suppose consider a normal cell. So this is your normal cell and it is maintaining its homeostasis. Homeostasis. Right? What is meant by homeostasis? Maintaining the constant internal environment of cell even though there are many changes occurring in the external environment. Right? Suppose there is injurious stimuli. Injurious stimuli like pressure, temperature, trauma, anything can be injurious stimuli. If this injurious stimuli is mild and it's for a short duration, okay, short time, if this is the consequence, then what happens is the normal cell will undergo reversible injury. Reversible injury. What is meant by reversible injury? Irreversible injury is the temporary decrease in cellular function because of the mild and short-term injurious stimuli. So, if this mild and short-term injurious stimuli is removed, it's removed, then what happens is the cell will undergo transition. Okay, it will return to normal stage, right? So, if there is injurious stimuli which is severe and progressive, injurious stimuli severe and progressive injurious stimuli, right? If this happens, then what happens is the cell will undergo irreversible injury. Irreversible injury. Irreversible injury finally leads to cell death. Cell death. And this cell death will occur either by necrosis, apoptosis. Another new things are added: necroptosis, pyroptosis, and finally there is another concept called autophagy. I will discuss later. Overview of cell injury is over. Now, causes of cell injury. What are the causes that leads to the cell injury, right? Please remember this technique to remember those causes. The technique is hitting new public area. I know the spelling is not correct, but please remember it's just a technique, okay? Not actual spelling. Hitting new public area. I will say what are these. H, first one. H means hypoxia and I means ischemia. Hypoxia, first cause is, and ischemia. Okay, these are the two important causes for cell injury. Now, in hypoxia, what happens is there is decreased oxygen supply. In ischemia, what happens is in addition to decreased oxygen supply, there is also deprivation of nutrients. Because in ischemia, what happens is there is decreased blood supply, right? If blood supply is decreased, then what happens? Decreased oxygen supply, decreased nutrient supply. In addition to this, the toxic metabolites are not replaced because there is no blood supply, right? Blood is the carrier from which substances are carried. Buildup of buildup of toxic metabolites in the cell, right? So hypoxia, the causes of ischemia is mere block in the artery or anything, any blood vessel, right? The causes of hypoxia are like this. First cause is ischemia only. Because if there is block in artery, what happens? There is a decrease in oxygen supply. Simple. This is the most common cause. And the second cause is if lung tissue is damaged, lung damage. What happens? There is no gaseous exchange, right? That's it. Next cause, decreased oxygenation of blood. Oxygenation of blood. Why it happens? Because of two reasons. One, anemia. Second, carbon monoxide poisoning. In these conditions, what happens is hemoglobin binds to carbon monoxide and there is no hemoglobin at all in anemia. That's why if there is decrease in hemoglobin level, what happens? There is decreased oxygen carrying capacity and oxygenation of blood, right? Decreased oxygen carrying capacity. Carrying capacity. So this is the first and foremost cause of cell injury, hypoxia and ischemia. Hypoxia and ischemia is over. Next comes to T. T here is toxins. You know there are many toxins like carbon monoxide, asbestos, air pollutants, mercury. So like this, etc. Many toxins are there. But in addition to this, the harmless substances also sometimes becomes toxic like water, oxygen. How can these harmless substances become toxic? If there is increased oxygen breathing, too much oxygen breathing without carbon dioxide, what happens is oxygen toxicity occurs. Toxicity occurs. Breathing is impossible here, right? It leads to death also. Now, toxins are over. I. I is infectious agents. Agents. What are those? Simple. Virus, protozoans, microbes, anything, etc. Simple. Next I is immunological response. Immunological reactions. Logical reactions. So what are these? For instance, number one, autoimmunity. And second one is chronic and increased immune response to microbes. Okay, immune response to microbes. What happens here is in both these conditions leads to inflammation. In inflammation, what happens is inflammatory cells occur. Inflammatory cells like many neutrophils, macrophages goes and what they do is they fight against these two. During this fighting, what happens is they secrete many products like macrophages and neutrophils secrete many products. Those are harmful to tissues also. Harmful to tissues. This will leads to damage of tissue. Comes to the N. What is N? Nutritional imbalance. Nutritional imbalance. What is meant by nutritional imbalance? Variation in the diet. That's it. Simple as it is. Suppose there is protein calorie malnutrition. This leads to what? Decreased cellular activities. Decreased cellular activities in turn leads to cell damage. And also, if there is increased dietary intake, food intake, let me write food intake. What happens? This leads to obesity. Simple. Obesity is the predisposition for what? Type 2 diabetes, atherosclerosis. All these indirectly leads to cell injury and damage. Now, G. G here is genetic abnormality. This genetic abnormality also leads to the cell injury, right? There are many inborn errors that ultimately leads to cell death. Now, N here is newborn errors. Newborn. Instead of inborn, I am writing newborn errors, right? They ultimately leads to indirectly cell death. Next, P here is physical agents. Agents like trauma, high temperature, high pressure, like that. It will continue. During aging, what happens is cell will lose the ability to fight against stress. The cell decreased ability, okay? The cell will lose ability to do what? To respond against stress. This leads to injury. Okay, simple. Now let's see the reversible cell injury. What happens in reversible cell injury is, suppose if there is hypoxia, for example, one of the injury stimuli is hypoxia. If there is hypoxia, what happens is there is decreased oxygen supply, right? This leads to decreased ATP production. This leads to what? Decreased Na plus K plus pump activity. What happens next? There is the normal process is efflux of sodium, influx of potassium, right? But because of the unavailability of ATP, what happens is there is influx of sodium. If sodium enters cell, along with sodium, what enters? Water, right? Because of co-transport increases. This leads to the cell swelling. Okay, the cell is swelled. Cell swelling. Next, the morphological features are like this. Let me discuss the morphological features of reversibly injured cell, right? You can see the swelling of mitochondria here. Mitochondrial swelling. Okay. Next feature is, see here, this is also mitochondria, but there are amorphous deposition, like these black dots. This is amorphous deposition which are rich in phospholipids, right? Amorphous densities, let me say densities. Densities, what they contain? Rich in phospholipids. Right? The next feature is, see here, these are in fat metabolizing organs like liver. What happens is there is accumulation of triglycerides in the form of vacuoles. These are lipid vacuoles. Okay. The next feature is this. See here. This is called myelin figures. Figures. What are these? These are accumulation of phospholipid in the cytoplasm, right? You can see membrane blebs. These are membrane blebs because of the increased water content in the cell. Membrane blebs. Blebs. Next feature is, see here, in the rough endoplasmic reticulum there is detachment of these green colored ribosomes, right? The next feature is detachment of ribosomes. From what? Endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes. Right? And next feature is this appearance of clear vacuoles. Vacuoles. What are these? These are nothing but pinched off endoplasmic reticulum, right? So see the endoplasmic reticulum also, this is also swell. Next, here comes to the staining. I have marked in red. Why? Because of eosinophilic. Why? There is decrease in basophilic RNA content. RNA decreases. RNA is basophilic. Blue color should occur, right? So instead of blue, decrease in RNA, what happens is increased in eosinophilic content. Next, what happens to the nucleus? Here, see the nucleus. The chromatin is condensed, right? That happens. What happens in nucleus? The chromatin material will condense and there is clumping of chromatin material. Now I will discuss the irreversible cell injury. Irreversible cell injury leads to the cell death. And cell death occurs either by necrosis, apoptosis, necroptosis, pyroptosis, and that separate thing, autophagy. But necrosis and apoptosis are main. See here, see this cell. I will discuss the morphology of the cell which has undergone the irreversible injury, right? So you can see many myelin figures here as compared to reversible injury. In reversible cell injury, there are less number of myelin figures. Here, more number of myelin figures. And here, in the reversible cell injury, membrane was intact. But here, there is rupture of plasma membrane, right? Plasma membrane damage. See here. Here also you can see the amorphous densities in the mitochondria. Density. Because of the rupture of plasma membrane and other cell in organelles membrane, there is release of the lysosomal enzyme. Because of that, what happens? The organelles are digested. See here, destroyed mitochondria. Here, swelling of mitochondria can also be seen. Swelling. And you can see this area. This area has a special name called moth-eaten appearance. Moth-eaten. What is meant by moth-eaten? As I said previously, the release of lysosomal enzymes do what? It leads to the digestion of cytoplasm and its organelles. So this leads to clear vacuolar appearance. And that is called moth-eaten appearance. In reversible cell injury, there are just pinched off clear vesicles. Here, vacuolar appearance because of the enzymatic digestion. And the next comes to the nucleus. What happens to the nucleus? Many changes will occur, right? This is nucleus. The nucleus will undergo pycnosis, karyorrhexis, karyolysis. Okay, it undergo three things. What are those? Pycnosis, karyolysis, karyorrhexis. These three things will occur. What is meant by pycnosis? It is nothing but shrinkage of the chromatin material. Karyolysis or means the digestion of DNA material by DNase enzyme. Karyolysis. Karyorrhexis means fragmentation of chromatin material into, suppose this is your chromatin, and it fragmentation occurs, and these are the small strands. But in karyolysis, what happens is because of the DNase enzyme, this thing will be digested. And what happens? There is no nucleus. So initially, because of the condensation, what happens? Basophilia occurs. At the end of the day, basophilia fades. Okay, you can observe the nuclear changes like this. Basophilia means what? Increased basophilicity. As the nuclear changes progress, basophilia fades. Simple. These are the morphological features of necrosis. The ultimate fate of necrosis is phagocytosis, right? Cleaning of cell debris. Now I will discuss the types of necrosis. The first type is coagulative necrosis. Coagulative. So, this type of necrosis occur in solid organs. Solid organs like liver, heart, anything. But exception is there. Except solid organs, except brain. In brain, I will discuss the liquefactive necrosis occurs. Okay. Next, it is mainly occurs due to infarct, like myocardial infarction is an example. It's nothing but what? Ischemia, right? Next, boundaries are preserved. What is meant by boundaries are preserved? Preserved. You can see perfect outline. Suppose this is your kidney and section is taken. Section has been taken. And here is the infarct. You can perfectly see the boundaries. There is no spreading or there is no uneven boundary. Okay. You can perfectly mark the boundary. That is the specialty of coagulative necrosis. The second type is liquefactive necrosis. Liquefactive. So, here what happens is there is enzymatic degradation, enzymatic activity. Please remember, in coagulative necrosis, because of the ischemia, what happens is there is deactivation of proteins as well as enzymes also. There is no way to for the proteolysis because enzymes are also deactivated along with proteins. That's why the boundaries are preserved, right? There is no enzymatic degradation and spread of fluid-like substance. But here enzymatic degradation is there, right? And there is no boundary, as I said, no correct boundary, right? Correct boundary. Cell outlines are disturbed. Next type, caseous necrosis. Caseous. It is nothing but cheese-like, yellow cheese-like, and this occurs in TB, tuberculosis. Next, granulomas. In fungal infections also caseous necrosis occur. Next, fourth type is gangrenous necrosis. Simple, limb gangrene occurs in lower limb due to decreased blood supply. Fifth type is fat necrosis. See, in fat necrosis, what happens is there is either enzymatic or traumatic. Let me discuss in detail. Fat necrosis occurs in two types. Traumatic. Second is enzymatic. Usually occurs in the tissue with abundant fat. For example, there is trauma to breast. So here there is fat necrosis of breast occurs because of the trauma. Breast contains fat, right? Next, enzymatic fat necrosis. For example, pancreatitis, peritonitis, right? In this also, the fat is present, right? Because of the inflammation, fat necrosis may occur. The main feature of fat necrosis is chalky appearance. I will discuss why chalky appearance. Because suppose this is your fat tissue, there is trauma here. This leads to the release of lipase enzymes, lipases. This do what? This will degrade the fat and release fatty acids combine with calcium ion to form chalky appearance, right? So these are some details about fat necrosis. Next type is fibrinoid necrosis. Fibrinoid. So fibrinoid necrosis occurs usually in blood vessels. Causes of fibrinoid necrosis is, first cause is immune reaction. Immune reaction. What are involved in immune reaction? Antigen and antibodies. So there is deposition of antigen plus antibody complex in the vessel wall. This leads to the fibrin-like appearance, which is eosinophilic, right? The next cause is hypertension. In hypertension, what happens? There is infiltration of plasma proteins and deposition of the same in the vessel wall. Plasma proteins. Here antigen and antibody. Here plasma proteins deposit. Same deposit in vessel wall. So this leads to the fibrinoid necrosis of blood vessels. So these are the types of necrosis. There are totally 6 types. First is coagulative, liquefactive, caseous, gangrenous, fat necrosis, fibrinoid necrosis. Right? These are the types of necrosis. See, cell death can occur by necrosis, apoptosis, pyroptosis, and another thing is autophagy. But apoptosis is a concept of great importance. So I have discussed in another video. Now I will discuss the autophagy. Autophagy. So what is meant by autophagy? The name itself says everything. Auto means self, phagy means eating, self-eating. Simple. That's it. That's the meaning. Simple self-eating. In what situation this self-eating occurs? During nutrient deprivation. If there is decreased supply of nutrients, what happens? In order to survive, the cell eats itself. It is one of the survival mechanism of cells. Okay, it is one cause. Other cause is activation of autophagy genes. Okay, activation genes which causes autophagy, right? These are the two causes. So mechanism of autophagy. Suppose here is your cell organelles. Suppose this is mitochondria and this is endoplasmic reticulum. What happens is in the cytoplasm there is formation of vesicles. This leads to the formation of vesicles. The vesicle surrounds it like this. This complete vesicle is formed like this, containing cell organelles, right? This is called autophagosome or autophagic vesicle. And this will combine with lysosome. Simple lysosome. What the enzymes are present in lysosome, right? So simple digestion occurs. What happens? Degradation of its own organelles, right? Digestion. These degraded products are utilized for the nutritional supply. Degraded products used as nutrients by the cell. Okay, this is the concept of autophagy.